Hello Knights fans and welcome to the FDU Baseball Office. I'm Ryan Uhlich and welcome to another edition of the Knights Baseball Roundup, Week 11. And I'm of course joined by the FDU Baseball coach Gary Puccio. Gary, how you doing today?
All right, how you doing there, Ryan?
It's good. Doing pretty good. Before we get started, just like last week, another tragedy has struck the FDU Baseball alumni, and you wanted to say a few words.
Yeah, unfortunately for the second week in a row, we've had bad news regarding one of our alumni, Steve Stewart, passed away actually a couple of weeks ago now. Steve was a Hall of Fame player here back in the 80s. He's been to our first pitch dinner and things, and he was only 46 years old. He suffered from diabetes, and our condolences go out to his wife, Debbie. And he was a person that was around our program a lot and will be also sorely missed.
We do have another alumni question of the week. Take it away, Gary.
Okay. Question of the week this week comes from Joe Pern down in North Carolina. And his question is, when are we planning any additional trips down to the North Carolina area? Well, Joe, you'll be happy to hear that we're in the process of talking to Davidson College again, which I know is right nearby for you. And our hope is to play them, if not in 2015, definitely in 2016. So we definitely have plans to come back down there. I'm also looking into some of the other North Carolina local schools because it's a great area to come down and play. So hopefully, we'll be setting up a couple of games down there again in the near future. And thank you for submitting the question.
Yes, alumni, keep sending your questions in. Only have another couple of weeks left of the show and the season, so if you want your question answered, send them in. Puccio at fdu.edu. Let us jump into this past weekend series against NJIT. It was supposed to be a doubleheader on Saturday, doubleheader on Sunday, home and away, and turned into all four games being played at the Naimole Family Baseball Complex. The team's on a 5-7, have won 5 of their last 7 games. But let's start talking about game number 1. Started the series off with a loss against NJIT. But Ryan McDonald on the mound again. Got a little trouble in the first inning. Got a little trouble in the 6th inning. Kind of same as last weekend. But he had 4 straight 1-2-3 innings in the middle. Talk about a little bit about his performance and that game as a whole.
Ryan McDonald, that's one of the things that's been deceiving about Ryan McDonald the last 2 times out, and especially Saturday. He's pitched well, and what happens is you go into the game with a game plan, and then he's pitching so well, like you said, he retired 12 in a row, and I kind of tried to stretch him an extra inning, and sure enough, is a walk and a hit batter, or maybe it was a base hit and a hit batter, I'm not sure, but all of a sudden it's first and second, nobody out, and here comes trouble, and that's basically what happened. I got him out of there, but then we mishandled the bunt, and became a big inning for New Jersey Tech. And I kind of, in my mind, before the game was, 6th inning, I'm going to the bullpen, and then I didn't do it, so. And it's the second week in a row with McDonald. I made that mistake. So I have to learn, I think, that Ryan, I can't go by the inning before. I have to go by his pitch count number, especially since we're starting to stretch him out a little more. He has definitely pitched well for us. His ERA is one of the best on the team, and his opponent batting average is very low. So he's done a real nice job. But I've tried to, get a little too much milk out of the cow there.
Yeah. Now, it was a tie game going into the 6th. Obviously got into trouble, and it's a 7-inning game. All 4 games this past week were 7 innings. But you went right to the closer, Eric Snyder. Uncharacteristic. You mishandled the bunt, turned into a big inning. Kind of uncharacteristic for Eric. And then you had the bullpen continue on, and it ended up being a 9-1 loss. But tell me about the decision factoring in. Were you looking for Eric to pitch 2 full innings, or? I think that's what it was asking for, right? The 6th and the 7th at that point.
Well, I knew it was a bunt situation. So we knew they were going to bunt, and Eric's usually, phenomenal. I can't even remember when Eric's made an error in the 3 years he's been here. So, and it wasn't a great bunt where Zach yelled third, which was the right call, and Eric, in his hurry to get the play, fouled the ball, no sense, base low, no out, and here comes trouble. Right. Next kid, I think he hung either a curveball or a slider, and the kid hit the ball in the gap, and all of a sudden 3 runs are in, and the game's basically over at that point. And now it's, pitching guys out of order, basically, because I obviously went to Snyder in a 1-1 tie. And once that happened, now there's no point leaving him out there. So that kind of led to it becoming 9-1. So didn't really have a guy totally ready to come in behind him. So I got to take some of the blame. I mean, it starts basically from letting Ryan start that inning was just a mistake. Ryan would give me what he needed to give me, McDonald, and it was 1-1 at the end of 5. It's a 7-inning game. I should have done the usual and gone Yoner and then Snyder and yeah, I changed my mind, and also you don't know how much that affected Snyder too, because I'm sure he wasn't mentally prepared to come into that spot. So a lot of the blame has to go my way.
Well, Game 2 certainly made up for any blemishes in the Game 1. Joe Flacco, we've talked about for a number of weeks now. 0 for 6 coming into this weekend, and then we talk about all these other games that he's losing 3-2, 2-1, 1-0, and then all of a sudden he gets his first win of the season, and it's a big offensive game. It's 12-4 is their final score. 6-0 after the first inning, and Flack himself was very solid. I think only 1 earned run. But a number of batters had phenomenal days. I know Matt McCann, who we will have an interview with this later on the show, had a tremendous game in the leadoff spot. But tell me about Game 2 and that.
Yeah, I was very happy with the way they came out, because I was not happy with Game 1, and they kind of knew I was not happy with Game 1. And I felt weren't being aggressive enough at the plate and stuff. And to come out and score 6 in the first, and we really could have scored even more, because they ruled the last out of the inning a diving catch, which I thought the ball had gotten trapped, so it would have been 2 more runs even. But to come out and score 6 runs in the first inning was outstanding. Matt had a big hit. Also, Jose De Leon getting a start. Big 2-out base hit in that inning. So a lot of good things happened in that game. And, it was honest to God, which is kind of incredible, but we're up 6-0 in the first inning, and I already felt the game was over, because the way Joe Flacco has pitched for the last month and a half, he hasn't given up over 3 runs. And, when I took Joe out, the game was 12-1.
Right.
So, he had another phenomenal outing. He's been absolutely consistent as hell for us. And the kid's going to be a good one. He really is. He's done a lot of good things, and it was impressive. And it was nice to be able to finally hand him a ball and give him his first college win.
Talking about other good young players in this FDU baseball team. Game 3, the first game of Sunday's doubleheader, when FDU was technically away in Teaneck. Ryan Brennan had a game-winning triple at the end. I think that's a sorely needed 1-point victory. Coming late in the season, especially, that final score was 3-2. Tell me what you felt about that game. Just 4 hits for the offense, too, and eking it out. It was a good win, I think.
Yeah, that game was, again, like the Iona game this past week, was typical FDU baseball to me. I mean, that's, kind of how we got to win, 3-2, 4-3, And Ryan delivered a big hit. He's been hitting the heck out of the ball of late. I think his average has climbed up near 300. And, again, freshman that, he was redshirted last year. He's a freshman that maybe had 20 games under his belt. And now all of a sudden you're starting to see it blossom, and he's becoming the hitter that we know he's going to be for us. And very happy with him. I was very, very pleased with what he did. Chalupa started that game. John's been terrific for us as well. Unfortunately, he was having some control problems. I talked to him about it. I said, if you don't start showing me some more command of your fastball, I'm going to have to make a move. And in the 4th inning, I brought in Nick Cuno with, I believe, 2 men on, and us up 1, 3-2. And Nick threw 4 pitches and got himself a win, because he ended up being the pitcher of record, got the out. And then we went to the bullpen. That bullpen for me has been my money card for 3 years. I mean, went to Khaleesi, Perline, and Snyder, and with a 1-run lead. And once again, at the end of the game, we still had that 1-run lead. And they just, for whatever reason, they seem to get the job done. Whether one of them louses up and the other ones pick them up, or whether all 3 of them are solid, they've just been outstanding out of the bullpen. And for Khaleesi, that was his 77th appearance under us in the 3 years he's been here, and that puts him 3 short of becoming FDU's all-time appearance leader, which should happen sometime this weekend or next week. He needs 3 to tie and 4 to break it, and he's only a junior, and he's going to end up. Actually, him and Yoner are going to probably end up 1 and 2 before they're done, which is incredible, because they're both juniors. But it's hard to believe I've given him the ball 77 times already in 3 years. But I have a lot of faith in him and that whole bullpen.
Yeah, I'm not surprised, honestly. Following the team calling games last year, this year, seeing all these box scores, it's just constantly that's 1-2 right there.
Yeah.
Leading up to Snyder. All right, so let's talk into Game 4 really quick before we break down the upcoming weekend.
I missed part of Game 4.
Yeah, I know. Well, not all the viewers know, but it's okay. Just when you're explaining what you thought about that game, maybe pop it in there. But
Okay.
there's a 5-2 loss, Game 4 of the series. I'm also interested to hear what you have to say about Joe Borelli's start. Still getting farther away from injury. Wasn't his sharpest, but still looking pretty solid.
I mean, the part I saw. Okay. The first run was not Joe
Gary got
Burrow's
ejected.
fault. The first run was not, which is my first ejection of the year and only my second since I've been here at FDU and was uncalled for, but that's my opinion. So anyway, the Joe Burrow gave up a run in the first inning that was basically a throwing error on one of the players and it wasn't his fault, unearned run. The next thing he gave up a 2-run home. I thought that was the only bad pitch he made of the day. I mean, I thought he had pitched really, really well. Mm-hmm. He left the pitch inside on a lefty pull hitter, kid Tom Houck. I don't know if I pronounce it Houck. So I always say the name wrong. But the kid's a lefty power hitter, and Joe kind of left it in his wheelhouse, and the kid hit the ball over the wall. So those things happen. Other than that, I thought he pitched really well. I think the game came down to the play that I kind of got ejected on, where it was 3-2. We had a runner on first. Flashed a hit and run with Ryan Brennan at the plate. Ball was in the dirt, and they ruled batter interference on the play at second base, but the catcher never caught the ball clean, and that was my whole argument. Is if the catcher don't catch the ball clean, you can't make a throw. So I couldn't understand how it was catcher's interference. Obviously, the umpire saw it differently. He's the umpire. He won. I lost.
Okay, before we get into, I know we said we were about to, but before we get into LIU Brooklyn this upcoming weekend. Let's talk about one of the offensive standouts of the series, Matt McCann. He's a freshman, shortstop. Just got named NEC Co-Rookie of the Week, and he will be interviewed by Corbin after the break. Batted 600 this weekend, 9 for 15. He had a fantastic suicide squeeze, perfect placement to win the game. 3 multi-hit games, 4 for 4 stolen bases, no errors in the field. Just a dominant display by your freshman shortstop. What do you have to say about
It's nice. It's nice to see him blossoming, and I have to say, all 3 of the freshmen. Flack got his first win this week. Zach's leading that team in hitting, and Matt's he's going to be a terrific shortstop for us, and just a solid player. And it's nice to see the bat coming around. I kept telling him, don't worry about the hitting, just play defense right now, and the hitting will come. That you just got to gain experience, and he's sure showing that. He did a tremendous job this weekend. As you said, won a game with a squeeze play, 4 stolen bases. Not only did he play errorless baseball, but he made at least 3 or 4 outstanding plays, diving catches and stuff in the field. He just, that kid's going to be a winner. I mean, he's a quality athlete. He's a terrific kid, one of the most popular kids on the team with his teammates, and expecting big things out of him. I think he showed signs of that this week, and I'm sure he's going to continue to show signs of that.
Definitely makes him fans of the pitchers. I've seen him kill rallies with some of his play in the field. So
you can't win without a good shortstop.
Yeah.
That's one of the key spots you got to have. You got to have a good catcher, a good shortstop.
Up the middle, right?
You got it. And defensively, I think we're pretty solid in those departments.
Okay, this weekend there are 3 series left in the season. LIU Brooklyn, Bryant, and Mount St. Mary's. Bryant being the lone series at home. Now, tell me about the importance of this LIU Brooklyn weekend series coming up. Anything can happen. 12 games, and LIU Brooklyn currently in 4th, but you can certainly catch them. So tell me about the importance of this series, what you expect from the Blackbirds.
Yeah, this is make or break weekend basically for us. If we want to have a shot at any chance to playoffs, we basically have to go out there and try to win this series, or at least get a split out of the series to have any chance of being alive for a playoff berth. They're a good team. I mean, they're one of the better hitting teams in the league, always have been. We're playing at their place, which always makes it more difficult that you're on the road. But, I kind of told our guys that, listen, any mistakes we've made during the season, which we've made our share of, that it's all behind you now. What's ahead of you is 12 games that mean a lot, and that what you do over the next 12 games is going to determine whether our season ends and what kind of successful season we've had or not had. The amazing part is you really can trace the whole season back to 3 runs. I mean, we've lost 3 one-run games and 3 two-run games in the conference, and if we had even just 2 of those wins back, we'd be sitting there in that 4th place spot as well. So, I don't think we're that far away from being a playoff team. We made a lot of mistakes early. we're lucky enough that we're still in a situation where we can still control our own destiny. But it's going to take a Herculean effort. It's going to take us going out there and winning a couple of series on the road, and hopefully, we'll be up to the task. But they're a real good ball club. They were a playoff team last year, LIU. This is not going to be easy, but this is what's in front of us. This is the mountain we created, and now it's time to try to climb it.
All right, I wish you the best of luck this weekend. Knights fans, NEC Front Row, urge you to watch the broadcasts over at LIU, and then come out and support your Knights at the Nomoli Family Baseball Complex next weekend again. All right, Gary, good luck this weekend, and thank you again for doing the show this week.
Thanks, Ryan. Appreciate it.
Thanks for having us in the office. And let's send it over to our closer, Corbin Gapski, who I already know did this Matt McCann interview in one take. So,
and Corbin
excellent save situation.
And Corbin Gapski's been the most successful closer in FDU history because no one ever comes on after him.
Nope, that's a
fact. It's always over. When he's done, we're done.
That's a fact. We all go home after Corbin's done. So let's hand it over to Corbin Gapski. Thanks for watching this week, Knights Baseball Roundup. And again, check back next week for another edition. And thanks for watching again.
Stay tuned.
Hey, thank you, Ryan, and hello, Knights fans. I'm Corbin Gapski from FUKnights.com. Welcome to this half of the Knights Baseball Roundup. I am joined here today with co-NEC Rookie of the Week, Matt McCann. Matt, it's raining outside. The April showers are here. Are the Mayflowers coming?
I hope so.
So let's talk about this past week. Went 9 for 15 against NJIT and Iona and got 4 steals in this past week. So it was a good week for you. But let's talk about the whole season overall. Talk to me about that long season for and describe your first year of college baseball as a freshman.
As a freshman, I just feel that you got to make a lot of adjustments. I think in the beginning of the year, the game was moving really fast for me, and now I've just tried to slow things down.
And let's go back to the beginning of the season. I interviewed Eric Snyder and Shane Siebler, the 2 captains for. Now we have Patrick McClure as one of the captains, but Eric Snyder described you as one of the hardest working people and the MVP of the offseason, one of the hardest working people in the weight room. So what kind of things do you do during the offseason to prepare you for such a long season, and what do you do during the season to keep that strength going?
Well, my off season, I just like to do, I work with the weights a lot. I do a lot of weightlifting, and I love to run. I love to do sprints, and during the season, I just look to maintain it. Try to be in the weight room with Kyle and make sure I do my long toss for my arm and run as many sprints as I can.
Okay. Now, this season, it's been a long one for you. It's over a 50-game season for you guys. Season's wrapping up. Have a couple more series coming up. But I have to ask you, what kind of adjustments have you been making? I mean, it's a long season for you, but now you're at the point of the season where you're the co-NEC Rookie of the Week, which is a great honor. So tell me about the adjustments you've been making this season has brought you to this point so far.
Some of the adjustments just at the plate, I try to be really simple, have a short, quick swing, don't try to do too much, and in the field I just always try to be athletic and make all the plays.
And while you're talking about make all the plays, you're at the shortstop position, and former assistant coach Ryan Kreske was off to Pennsylvania to play for the Wild Things. So tell me about the greatest thing that Kreske taught you during this year and something you took from him.
I can't thank Coach Kreske enough. He's been a huge help to me in adjusting to playing shortstop at the college level. And his big thing that he kept preaching to me was he always wanted me to just have a lot of confidence to go out there with a little bit of swagger and just be that guy, you know, make the tough plays, make the easy plays, and be a good shortstop.
Now we got that coach's side there, but let's talk about the players a little bit. You got like 21 other guys on the team with you. So what player or what veteran has really helped you get through the season so far or gave you that word of advice just to help you get through a tough weekend or kept the confidence going for you?
Well, actually, Riley Moonen. I've had a couple actually nights with him where we literally just sat down and probably talked baseball for 3 or 4 hours. So he's been a pretty big help to me too.
I give a shout out to Riley Moonen, the center fielder for the Knights. He's having a great year for him. Now, Matt, let's jump off the baseball for a little bit. We're going to stick with baseball a little bit. So I make the game day programs for the Knights for every single game, and I've got to go through the pictures on the website to see who to put on it. But every single picture I've seen to find with you, your tongue's sticking out. And whether you're at the shortstop or you're hitting, but I can't find one without it. I'm having a hard time. So you told me before it's a focus thing. Can you elaborate on it a little bit for me?
Well, I guess ever since I don't know. Ever since I can remember, pretty much anytime I'm like really focused on something, my tongue is just out. If I'm writing a paper or any picture of me playing sports, especially in baseball, my tongue is just hanging out there when I'm trying to make a play or I'm at the plate. So it's just something that's always been in every picture of me.
When you're studying for a test, is your tongue out?
Yeah, it happens to be out usually.
When you're dancing, is your tongue sticking out?
If I'm really dancing hard, yeah.
Okay, then. Well, now you know if Matt's really focusing or really getting into something, he's sticking his tongue out for you. So, yeah, that can be our sign-off for now on, sticking the tongue out. So, folks, like I said, I'm Corbin Gapski from FDUnice.com, here with the NEC Rookie of the Week, Matt McCann. But make sure to go to FDUnice.com every single week to watch tonight's baseball roundup with Ryan Uhlich and Coach Gary Puccio of the Knights. Matt, I want to thank you for taking time with talking to me, and good luck the rest of the way.
Hey, Corbin, thanks for having me.
Have a great day, folks.